All right, baseball fans, upset alert here today in Cincinnati, home of the Big Red Machine, as the 1985 Royals, the number 15 seed in the tourney, did the impossible. They won Game 1 here on the road Monday night, taking down the Cincinnati Reds. Can they do it again here in Game 2? Boy, look at this crowd, decked out in red, but we see plenty of blue as they've come over from Kansas City to watch their Royals try to do the impossible. Full count pitch, 3-2 is lined to center field, and this game will start with a Lonnie Smith leadoff single. George Brett at the plate, up against Don Gullett. 0-2 pitch. Brett goes the other way. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. It's a base hit for George Brett. They send Lonnie to third. He's at first into third base. Aggressive base running by Lonnie Smith. Runners on the corners, one out. Gullett from the stretch. Balboni gets the green light. A soft liner to the shortstop. What a grab. Concepcion climbs the ladder to make the catch. Concepcion, the Gold Glove shortstop, stealing away a base hit and a certain RBI. That is out number 2, and this is Frank White. White coming off a 3 RBI night on Monday in Game 1. Big part of that 8-6 Royal victory. On a 1-2, Frank White grounds to second, and that will do it. The Reds dodge a bullet in the first. We head to the bottom of the first at Riverfront Stadium. So Ken Griffey, your leadoff man as we begin the bottom of the first. Danny Jackson's pitch is lined up the middle, and that's a base hit. So both teams opening with base hits as the Reds respond in kind. That brings up Bob Bailey. And why, oh why, do you bring Bob Bailey into the lineup on a day such as this? Bailey, a .298 hitter in 69 games. He did boast a .884 OPS with a .508 slugging percentage. So Bob Bailey, fantastic eye, some decent pop too. Not the best defensive option at third. Meantime, for Pete Rose, who is on the bench, Pete Rose, who went 1 for 4 with a double and a walk in the Game 1 loss. Pete Rose in this 1976 season hitting .323, 10 homers, 42 doubles, and a .404 on-base percentage. Lifetime .311 hitter, just shy of 3,000 hits in his career, at least so far through 1976. He would go through 3,000 and then some. Pete Rose finishing his major league career with 4,256 hits, the most by any player in Major League Baseball history. Back to Bailey. Bob Bailey at the plate with one aboard. Bailey on a 2-1 pitch, and he goes right back to the pitcher. Bang, bang, play, and he legs it out. All right, well, maybe channeling his inner Charlie Hustle, Bob Bailey with a full head of steam, and he gets on an infield single. And that brings up George Foster. Foster, one of the premier home run hitters right now in the mid-1970s, 29 round trippers in 1976. The next year in 77, he would hit a career high 52 home runs. George Foster at the plate. Chance to do some damage. 3-1 pitch, ground ball, third base. They get the force at second. On to first for 2. It's a double play. 5, 4, 3 on your scorecard as 2 runners stranded as we are scoreless at the end of 1. Bottom of the 4th. And heart of the order for the 76 Reds against Danny Jackson, who has been dealing so far. Jackson scattering those 4 hits across 3 innings. Pitch count about halfway to 100 so far. Morgan works the count to 1-1. And he lines it right up the middle. Joe Morgan, leadoff single. He'll tell you how great that hit was. Morgan does have legs, and he knows how to use them. 60 steals in 1976. 5th straight year that Morgan had 50 or more stolen bases. He'd finish his major league career just south of 700 with 689 stolen bases. And you look at this Reds lineup, and there are some all-time greats. Of course, you have the all-time hit king who's on the bench tonight for unknown reasons. Pete Rose, 4,256 hits. I think unequivocally, a lot of people look at Johnny Bench, who awaits on the on-deck circle right now, as the greatest catcher of all time. And Joe Morgan has to be in the conversation as one of the, if not the, greatest second baseman of all time. If you were putting together your all-time greats team, leadoff hitter, Rickey Henderson. Don't think there's any doubt about that in left field. And if you're building a team too, you want to be strong up the middle, you have to have Johnny Bench perhaps behind the dish. Joe Morgan certainly in the conversation as your starting second baseman. Jackson from the stretch to George Foster, and Joe Morgan running on the pitch. He'll pick up the stolen base. Here's Johnny Bench. Bench on an 0-1. And he shoots one to the gap, right center field, at the top of the wall. Just hit the tape at the very top of the wall. It's an RBI double, and the big red machine is turning. They have the first run. It's 1-0 Reds. Boy, Bench gave it a ride as this one nearly clears the wall. He'll have to settle for an RBI double. 1-0 Cincinnati. Tony Perez at the plate, still hitless in 5 at-bats. Pitch gets away from Sundberg. Bench to third. No official ruling yet. It will be a wild pitch. So official ruling, wild pitch on the ledger of Danny Jackson. Bench to third. 2-1 count to Perez. Perez line shot, left field base hit, and it's a 2-0 Cincinnati lead. Big red machine rolling right along. Don Gollett will lead off for the Cincinnati Reds. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Danny Jackson, only blemish so far in his ledger, of course, giving 2 runs up in the 4th. His Royals trailing 2-0 against the big red machine. Gollett first pitch, swinging, high fly ball, deep left field. Gollett has gone yard. Don Gollett brought his bat. He ain't just a pitcher only. Solo homer. Reds on top, 3-0. One more look at Don Gollett. Boy, you knew from the moment it left his bat, it was leaving the yard. He got all of that one. Danny Jackson leaving that slider knee high for Gollett, who jumped on it. Don Gollett running around the bases like he's been there before. Solo home run, 3-0 Reds. So the Royals score on a sac fly by Jim Sundberg. It's 3-1. Buddy Biancalana now at the plate. Full count pitch. Biancalana base hit right up the middle. They're going to wave in the runner, throw home. White will slide around the tag, and it's a 1-run game. Buddy Biancalana with an RBI single. Good swing, good wood. Base hit, 3-2 ball game. Jackson will pitch from the stretch to the pitcher, Don Gollett, who already has a solo home run in this one. Maybe the surprise of the 64, Don Gollett. No career home runs in his major league career, coming through in the 5th with a round tripper up against Danny Jackson again. 3-1, Gollett gets the green light, and that's another base hit. Don Gollett, the pitchers are bringing it here today. And advancing to third is Concepcion. Gollett to second on the throw. And the Reds are cooking right now with 2 aboard. Runners in scoring position for Ken Griffey. Trying to get those 2 runs back. Griffey, fly ball, left field, base hit. 1 run will score. Gollett's trying to score as well. The throw home, not in time. And the Reds get 2 on a single by Griffey. Series in favor of the Royals right now. It's a best-of-7 first-round series. 85 Royals winning on Monday night in Game 1, 8-6. George Foster, 2-1 pitch to him is a high fly ball, and that one is out of here. Into the cheap seats, out in left. It's a solo home run by George Foster. Just south of 400 feet. He will touch them all to make it 6-2. Frank White, 1-1 count to the second baseman. White hammers that to left. This one's got some juice, and this one will leave the yard. Frank White with a solo home run, and the lead is cut to 3. So Frank White with a bullet to left. Much needed run for the Royals to make it a 6-3 ball game. Barr's pitch is lined to left. Boy, the pitchers have come to play here. They are loving this no DH in the 64. So Eastwick, the relief pitcher, gets a base knock. And Griffey now at the plate. 3-2 offering to Griffey. Griffey with a fly ball to center field. And Willie Wilson lost track of it, and it goes over the head of Wilson. A run will come in. Fly ball deep to center field. Willie Wilson misplayed it, took a bad angle there. Griffey will get credited with a triple. Eastwick comes in to score. It's 7-3 Cincinnati. Willie Wilson trying to extend this inning. Raleigh Eastwick looks in for the sign. Here's your pitch. Fly ball, right field. This is trouble, and this will go to the wall. Boy, this could be 3 if they don't watch out. Willie Wilson heading for third. A run will come in. It's an RBI triple to make it a 7-4 ball game. Still a 3-run advantage for Cincinnati, though. George Brett at the plate. 3 hits in the series. 1-2 pitch, George Brett. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is how this game will end. Cincinnati avoids an upset in Game 2. Your final tonight at Riverfront Stadium. The 1976 Cincinnati Reds 7. The 1985 Kansas City Royals 4.